Councilman Perry,
Present.
Councilman Figueroa,
Present.
Councilwoman Fonseca,
Present.
Councilwoman Gonzalez,
Present.
Councilwoman Ramkier,
Present.
Councilwoman Rosano Siegel,
Present.
Councilman Boudreaux.
Present.
Mr. President, we have quorum.
Thank you. Will everyone rise to the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone. At this time, I'd like to introduce Mayor Diossa and the rest of the staff. Judge Cooney. Good evening. Hi, good evening. Police Chief and Doctor. Sally. Nice smile. Very nice. Smile. Smile.
Thank you all for being here on this important night. I want to thank Council President Bob Ferry, Stephanie Gonzalez, President Pro Temp, and all my other colleagues on the City Council for being here tonight. I also want to recognize our Central Falls Legislative Delegation, Senator Crowley, Rep. McLaughlin, and Rep. Maldonado. I also want to recognize our municipal court judges, Judge McConnell of the Housing Court, Judge Bruce Sawyer of Probate Court, and Judge Ray Cooney of Municipal Court. I also want to recognize and thank my directors that because of their work, their hard work, and their commitment to our residents, this city has been recognized as the comeback city. So I really want to thank you all. I want to thank City Clerk Sonia Grace, our Finance Director Cynthia De Jesus, Director of Public Works Elaine Partridge, City Solicitor Matt Jerzyk, HR Director Kathy Goet, Planning Director Stephen Larrick, IT Director Mike St. Jean, Police Colonel James Mendonça, Chief Bradley of the Fire Department, in his place is Deputy Chief Sullivan, Parks and Recs Director Joshua Giraldo. I also want to recognize my colleagues in government, Mayor Grebian, thank you for being here. Mayor Murray from Cumberland, thank you for being here. And Mayor Larsa, who will be joining us soon. I am pleased to submit to you all the City of Central Falls proposed budget for fiscal year 2016. This budget calls for an overall expenditure of $18,167,357. This budget is $1.2 million less than the $19.3 million budget called for in the 6-year financial projection, and thus it is in material conformity with the 4th amended debt adjustment plan ordered by the bankruptcy court. The format of this fiscal year 2016 budget includes new features that reflect the transparency goals of my administration. For the first time, I have included departmental goals, objectives, staffing plans, and job descriptions so that the city residents know how their tax dollars are being spent. The goals for each department are a testament to the forward-thinking directors within our city departments. I am also pleased to announce that we are live streaming this budget address, another step in promoting access to government. In addition, the city budget will be presented as a searchable document on our new open data portal, centralfallsri.us/open data. Making our city budget more customer friendly is another step in efforts to open up the doors of government. Already, we have passed a strong ordinance to ethics to ensure integrity in our city's workforce, extended office hours at City Hall for residents to do business at night, and formed a Mayor's Youth Council to empower our high school students to get involved in the running of our city. Together, we are closing the door on the corruption of the past and letting the sunlight of transparency and accountability into City Hall. This year, I'm proud to submit a budget that further builds upon the prudent fiscal and budgetary practices reflected in last year's approved budget. For the second consecutive year, this proposed budget adequately addresses the needs of Central Falls at a cost that is $1.2 million less than the fiscal year budget proposed under the bankruptcy plan. Last year, I outlined several budget principles in order to build the city's future on a foundation of fiscal responsibility. I am thankful to the City Council for your efforts in supporting and promoting these principles. They included the following: cutting inefficient spending, consolidating services, minimizing tax increases, creating a reserve account, funding a capital plan, and adequately funding our pension plan. I am pleased to report that this budget, through the hard work of our finance director, De Jesus, not only includes these principles, but makes them stronger. First, we have invested in our reserve system. The absence of reserve accounts have long been a criticism of rating agencies that evaluate the fiscal health of our city. This budget creates a general reserve account as we introduced last year. In addition, I have proposed the creation of a claims reserve fund that will guard against any potential exposure and loss. These reserves are a hallmark of sensible municipal budgets. Our employees and retirees have felt the pain of poor municipal management and the resulting bankruptcy. In this budget, I am doubling down on my commitment to reduce unfunded liabilities in our pension plan and our OPEB plans. I am proposing to increase our required pension contribution 50% over what the bankruptcy plan requires. While we are on pace for our pension system to leave critical status in 10 years, I hope we can achieve this much sooner. I am also proposing, for the first time ever, to begin to fund an OPEB trust account in partnership with the Rhode Island Interlocal Trust. Faced with over $3 billion in OPEB unfunded liabilities, our cities and towns need to address this issue now. And if the council passes this budget, Central Falls will do just that. We have made great strides and achieved significant savings through sharing services and the consolidation of municipal services. We have successfully consolidated police and fire dispatch into one entity. The city has partnered with the city of Pawtucket, thank you, Mayor Grebian, for a single building official. And we collaborated with our school district in consolidating our HR and IT departments, resulting in tens of thousands of dollars savings. Services have improved. Our HR director, Kathy Goet, identified 10% in healthcare savings and 13% in dental coverage savings. And our IT team, led by Mike St. Jean, has tackled poorly maintained servers and put our city on a path to cloud-based record keeping. This budget continues to advance each of these important initiatives so that we can do more with less. Looking down the road, the bankruptcy plan requires next fiscal year that the city begin the payment of the receivership bills and legal fees in the amount of $600,000 annually until over 3.2 million is repaid to the state. This is a daunting annual amount that equals approximately a 4% increase on our tax levy. Faced with this looming payment in the fiscal year 2017 budget, on top of an already lean operating budget, I am forced to include a 3.9% increase in the tax levy this year. For the home valued at $100,000, this would represent approximately an $83 increase this year. Based on our current data, something I do not want to have to do. Like many of you, I own a home in this city. My father owns a home in this city. This is not a decision that I take lightly at all. I remain hopeful that the efforts of my administration, the City Council, and Senator Crowley, Representative Maldonado McLaughlin, can result in legislative action to prevent a double dose of a bitter pill that we have barely survived. If this legislation is successful, I am confident that our fiscally responsible budget choices will result in significantly lower taxes with a goal of none. Building our city's economy is the best way to build our tax base and reduce the tax burden on our residents and business owners in the years to come. We have made great strides in the last 2 years, including the repaving of 24 roads, new businesses opening up in the city, and a clear strategy to address blighted and abandoned nuisances. Indeed, in the coming months and years ahead, the signs of growth will be all over the city. Expect to see construction begin on 2 new DEM grant-funded parks and renovations to Cogswell Tower and Jenks Park. A blighted house across the street from our high school will be transformed into a new urban teaching and learning center, a terrific project that would not have happened without grant writer Derek Calamati. And our advocacy has finally paid off. And we will have a groundbreaking this summer on our long-awaited reconstruction of Dexter Street and its sidewalks. To supplement this improvement, I propose funding a Main Street facade program to reinvigorate our downtown districts of Broad Street and Dexter Street. Through a partnership with a local bank, business owners will have access to capital for this important element to economic development. This will be a huge boost for 2 of our major commercial corridors. Director Larrick has already played a key role in these exciting initiatives and in bringing companies like Zipcar, who represent a bright new future for Central Falls. Expect to see economic growth as we continue to invest in our city's infrastructure. This investment in infrastructure has been possible because of the creation of a capital fund that takes a budget surplus and applies it to the long-term development of our city's infrastructure. Last year, we cleaned up the city and increased our recycling rate through the distribution of new garbage and recycling containers. Also, through the leadership of Director Partridge, we partnered with Pawtucket Water to repave 24 city roads, many of which were in bad shape. Now, thanks to this capital fund and a new deal that the city reached with Wyatt, this budget will invest $200,000 of new monies per year over the next 4 years. This will allow the city to pave over 30 streets and make long-term investments in our roadways that will last a generation. Growth and redevelopment is difficult on streets with abandoned and blighted properties. That is why I am proud to continue funding the city's nuisance task force, which is block by block cleaning up our properties, holding properties owners accountable, increasing property values, and making our city cleaner and safer place to live. I'm especially thankful to our solicitor, Jerzik, in securing grant funds to further develop this initiative through the hiring of an executive director. A new initiative that will aid the task force in its mission is the revival of the Central Falls Redevelopment Agency. In addition to aiding and supporting the development of affordable housing with the newly created Pawtucket Central Falls Development, I will be tasking with finding public-private solutions to our city's redevelopment challenges. The Central Falls Landing, the Osram Sylvania Factory, the Coates and Clark and Paramount Cars Mills Complex, and the Pawtucket Central Falls train station. Central Falls cannot continue to stand idly by as properties fall into disrepair, hurting our quality of life, our job base, and our tax revenue. This budget equips the agency with the teeth to be effective in the form of a dedicated staffer to oversee the necessary work ahead to turn eyesores into success stories. I am excited about the development possibilities with a strong push from the city, the support of a new economic development tools from the state, and a visceral excitement in the private sector for Central Falls' comeback. This budget also includes new initiatives that will cut through the red tape commonly associated with municipalities. In the coming months, we will introduce the Open Counter program to allow residents and developers to conduct their permitting online. The clerk's office, under the leadership of Sonia Grace, will be making more and more city permit licenses and applications available online. In addition, city services from parking tickets to property taxes will include an online payment option so that taxpayers can interact with City Hall from the convenience of their phone or computer. Finally, even after freezing our tangible tax last year, our city's tangible tax on business remains one of the highest in Rhode Island. That is why I am proposing again to freeze the tangible tax rate for fiscal year 2016. I have also formed an economic development task force made up of local and state business leaders who are currently analyzing this issue and many more. I look forward to reading their recommendations on how to position our city for economic success in the coming months and years. I am excited for the positive changes that this budget will deliver for Central Falls. Our fire department will take delivery of their new ladder truck, addressing a glaring public safety need through the leadership of Chief Bradley. Our police department will be swearing in 2 new recruits at the end of this month. These new officers will be a central part of a new community policing initiative that will continue to build a trust between police and their community and also decrease street-level crimes in our neighborhoods. Colonel Mendonça has also been working hard to address the domestic violence problem in our city by partnering up with community organizations and our grant writer to identify funds for the hiring of a domestic violence advocate. Our city courts will also undergo a significant modernization, making our local justice system more efficient for the people of the city. I have also modestly increased funding to the Adams Memorial Library, which provides literacy, internet, and educational opportunities to all of our residents. Investing and empowering our young people is a long-term bet that I will always take. There's so much upside in having our young people return to the city, starting businesses, building organizations, and getting involved in the education community. In fact, this is the 2nd year of my Mayor's Youth Council, who I hope will go to college and come back once they're done. Youth Council members, please stand up and be recognized for your leadership. The this city budget continues to invest in our youth, empowerment, and community building that our Parks and Recreation Department has cultivated over the past few years. From the summer lunch program to our new basketball league to our holiday events, Director Giraldo continues to find innovative ways to bring our diverse community together in exciting ways. For the first time in a long time, this budget includes funding for youth fellowships that will ensure additional opportunities for our young residents. A stronger community only helps our drive to create a stronger economy. We, the people of Central Falls, have demonstrated resiliency in bouncing back from unprecedented challenge. This budget stands on the shoulders of the hard work we have completed in the last 2 years and offers the city further stability and sustainability in the coming years. This is a fiscally responsible budget that will rebuild our city streets, make them cleaner and safer, spur economic development, improving the openness and transparency of government, modernizing city services, invest in our youth, and invest in our local businesses. My fellow colleagues on this council, I respectfully urge your support in its passage. Thank you.